Okay, so I know this is a boring subject here at Andy's Free Guitar Chart videos. This is an amazing chart. There are other amazing charts. Um, it's the only chart that actually breaks the cages into just 5 fret cages. Now there's not going to be a cage that's any different than any other fret, any other cage. Now these are no sharing cages, but they definitely can share cages. So the E cage right there, you see it starts on E there, would be over here. See what I'm saying? I could actually take this guy over here and put him right there, and that would be our E cage. Of course, we want to line it up, right? We want to line it up, make it, because they all pretty much changed it. See how we've got the same fret there, the 2 going into the 3, because of that space there, because we're stretching over across the other 2 like that. But there's the E cage, so they are heavily interleaved. All right, they are. Trust me. So this is the only way to break it up that we actually have some longs, and we do these as the cutouts. So there's a G string cutout. Here's your G string. G string cutout, 2, 3, cut out to 4, and go to the string shape that's below the top one. Okay, so that would be the fourth of it. So the fourth of E is A. The fourth string shape is 4, 5, 6 is an A long. Then we have our short patterns where we actually have this strange version of the C box. Now the C box is the most difficult box, but we can do some blues magic with some of these boxes and use these as blues chords, but strictly speaking, this would be the C box in that 5 fret system. G box short, D box short, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, A box short, and our Locrian box here. Now the E long box is Locrian too, with the cutout that goes to the 4, 5, 6. We played that earlier, and this is our Locrian box too. All right. Now it says here E A C. Well, I don't know if we're really going to get that much here. That's there's root. The A is root 4, 6, and the C is 2, 4, 7, 2, 5, 7. Okay, 2, 5, 7 rather. I got a fly flying around it. 2, 5, 7. That's your G and the key is C. So root would be 5, 5 root 3, 5 root 3, and then root 4, 6, and then 2, 5, 7, 2, 5, 7. All right, with that C shape into a D shape for the 5th. Now, it still works there, so that's okay up there, but it's really your Locrian box, and it's all, we can also do the 7, 2, 4, 7, 3, 5, root 4, 6. Okay, more like a modal 1, 4, 5. Then we have the long C, our regular long C. Why is it long? Because we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. It doesn't have to be long. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to take the long A string shape there. By the way, these are the old colors, but they're still good. We're going to take the long A there, 5A long, and then 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the long C we have as part of it. See, that's one of the 12. One of the 12. So what key would that be? Obviously, obviously, there's 12 of them, and there's 12 keys. So one would be each key. Now, which key would it be? If we want to get into that, what it is if you look at a note, any note. Let's finish these. So we go to the D short, D long, the G long. Okay, where we have root 2 3, 5 6 7 root 2 3. We got the D long. We have these long patterns in here. 5 6 7 root 2 3 4 5 6 plays away from the fret. Now, A long, of course, we got 5 6 7, and then back to the E. Now, what I wanted to show you was. Are you sure you? I don't know what these computers are under repair here. So what I wanted to do was pause a second. Okay, let's look at this particular box, the E long Locrian box. Okay, so we're going to play this E long thing. So it would go something like 7 root 2 3 4 5 6 7 root 2 3, and then 4 5 2 3 4. Okay, that's your G string, but we're not going to play that 4, so it's 2 3, and then 4 5 6 7 root 2. It's just a little out of tune, that's all. Okay, so what? That's the E long. Well, incidentally, that is the E long with the cutout. It's a new box. We've stumbled on it before, and we couldn't figure out where to put that 4. Now I'm definite where I'm putting it because this is a particular box. Just wanted to explain to you that this G, if you wanted to look at that as I want to make this any key, this would be, you could do a dot scale thing on that, right? So if that's 7 flat, let's say, just 7 flat, say like a B flat or something like that, you just treat that B flat as the third of a major scale. So it'd be B flat, A flat, G flat. It would be the G flat major scale. That's the dot scale. So that G could be, it could be the third in the key of G flat. It could be the second in the key of A flat. It could be the root of the key of B flat. Okay, it could be the seventh of the key of B. Alright, it could be the sixth of the key of D flat. It'd be the fifth of the key of E flat. Now let's see that. Okay, so that B flat would be, yeah, it'd be the fifth, the key E flat, etc., etc. We've got 7 choices if we just want to play anything from that note. For instance, where it's the root, we could just start on that B flat and call it the root and go. Okay, that would be it being the root of the dot, the root of the dot note, which is the third of the dot scale. So that's worthy of mention. So we're almost done with all these. We go through the real, I think we got all the way through. All right, so that's the beauty of this chart. We've got all 7, and then we've got every possibility we could possibly have here. And we then go down diagonally where, say if we're playing in the, say the E box here, right? Say we're playing in the particular box we were playing in would be, say, this short E box here. So we're doing our thing here. Let's see. Sorry, we're doing the E box thing here. We've got root here. We want to go to a C shape. It would be 7 2 5 7. But wait a minute, we don't have what we need over here. We've got 2 missing notes. Okay, wheels are turning here, so I can tell we're getting to the crux of the problem. Let's start again. We want to play this Here's one example of why I made this entire chart. We want to play the fifth in the C shape, okay? So pretty much we've got E cross A cross C, but the C shape we have here is 257. 257, we don't have these two, they're sunken. So we want to look at how we're going to play that. What's the best way to play that? So let's look at this box here where root is actually up one. This would be the fret nut. Now we can play our C. 257, our fifth rather, our five triad, C-shaped. C-shaped. I always get that mixed up. I mean, I forget to mention that I'm talking shapes. 257, 257. There it is. Okay, that's where that starts in that E box. So then in the chart, we'd look for that same box that has the 7 there. Okay, so here is what we were looking for. We were looking for 257, 257. Now we're going to go to the next box below that, and what happened? 257, and now it disappears. We're back at the E box. All right, but we've related it to a situation where we're pushing that same E box right here, the E short box. We're pushing it, we're sinking it into the fret nut. Okay, we're sinking it into the fret nut. Of course, you can look at it as I just raised the capo up here. All right, and you can also look at it that way without getting into which key would be which one. When you raise the capo up, you're pretty much keeping, you could be keeping the key the same if you know you're sinking the shape into that as it comes up. I don't know what you could relate that to. So that gives us this. I had a frog in my throat. And we start with 257, 257. We go down to the next one. Now remember, these are lined up. These are pretty much lined up. So we moved the chart over a little bit. This is where our chord would be. Instead of 257 nothing, 5 nothing, we have 257. Now where are we going to find this? We want this 2 on string, then 5, then 7, then 2. Okay, so it's actually a C shape, and it ends up sounding something like this. It ends up sounding something like this. With the C shape, we end up with a choice, a little bit of trade-off, and we end up with something like this. Now that's actually a C shape with its 7th, okay? Because when we're doing 257, that's your 5th right there, okay? That's what we would have to be doing, 2, 5, and then this is like the 7 flat kind of thing. So it's a 7 flat. It's a mixolydian. Okay, it's a mixolydian because we're playing the 7th flatted there. It's interesting, you know, and then so that's an open string there, 2, 5, open string, and then we play like the 4 and the 2 right there. Okay, my bad. The 7th in that mixolydian is the 4th there, not the G. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're doing here. We're playing these 2 notes, 5 root, and then 4, and then 2. Hey, we're out of time. We'll see you next time. It's been a good lesson.